I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
This is the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Inside the ring. Outside the ring. It's all here.
We're talking about the greatest sport of them all, professional wrestling.
Come on! And now, here's Nick and Keith.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Podcast. If you came here to talk some Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, no, this is not the place for it. This is all about wrestling, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about the WWE budget cuts, Jade Cargill, Adam Cole's injury. Maybe Edge goes to AEW. We don't know, but Keith, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's good, brother? I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. It's been a busy, chaotic, stressful week, but we're here, and I cheers to you, my friend, and I cheers to anyone and everyone that's watching us right now. All good in the hood over here in PA. What's up with you? What's new with you?
Same. Hasn't been too much exciting going on around here. I don't know about you. The only part I'll talk about it with it is that my wife is definitely obsessed on that Kelce Taylor Swift train, and
Yeah,
it's just funny watching it all happen.
yeah, it is. It's funny to watch
know.
it unfold in front of us. Like,
Yeah.
one day they are just, she's at the stadium, and the next day they're in the restaurant hanging out. I heard today on the news or on WIP that Taylor Swift rented out the entire restaurant and paid like the manager, one waitress, and like someone and a chef just for them to hang out. That's really cool.
You imagine having that kind of money?
Yeah, that's
Imagine having that money.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
God, man.
Yeah, that's the kind of money that we'll be making soon off the UWPod right here on the Fanatics Network. Let's get to it, man. Let's talk some wrestling news. There's a lot here. Let's go, baby.
For sure.
They're going to get their monkey asses whooped tonight.
Wrestling News of the Week.
Yes, sir. Hey, we're in the right position.
Hey.
Before we get to wrestling news, let's do some promoting. WrestleBread
Always.
right here tonight at 9 o'clock on the Fanatics Network. They are going to do the WrestleDream and No Mercy predictions. So that's right here, 9 o'clock on the Fanatics Network. Go tune in at 9. It's going to be a lot of fun. But let's get to it. Keith, WWE roster cuts. Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Big name there, as well as Dolph Ziggler, among more than 20 different superstars. Riddle, Ziggler, Benjamin, Elias, Ali, Emma, Riddick Moss, Aaliyah,
Top dollar. Rick Boogs. Riddick
What?
Moss, I think you said already. Rick Boogs. Riddick Moss, you might have said already. Mason Mansoor.
Dana Brooke,
Quincy Elliott.
Shanky. There's a lot, man. And
Yeah. Davacato.
yes, this comes after the big news with Endeavor. And I think we were expecting this, but I wasn't expecting Dolph Ziggler. I wasn't expecting Ali, who was on the card for No Mercy, or was it last week? He was going to go one-on-one with someone. I forget who it was.
He was on the card for No Mercy. It was supposed to be him and Dom. He won. Dom did the special ref, at the what was it, NXT 3 weeks ago? Dom ref the match between him and Dragon Lee. Dom fast countered and Ali won. And Ali was supposed to face Dom. There was literally the week before he had the interface with Dragon Lee in the back and was like, when I win, you get first grabs at it. Like, and
they're saying it's all about the political segment he had a few months ago or a year ago. I just, you know what? I don't know what to think here. And right. Yes, Shelton Benjamin as well. Thank you, my friend, for bringing that up. That's another one, another head scratcher. I mean, you get it, Keith, right? Like Dolph's been there for years. Shelton's been there for years. He came back and he looked really good with the Hurt Business. But as a businessman, I mean, I hate saying it, but I get it. I understand it. Like, what is Dolph doing for you? What is Benjamin doing for you? I get it. I know. We're talking about real life people here. I get it. There is some emotion. There is that part of it. But I'm a little upset because I always wanted Dolph to get that one more that he did the NXT thing, and that was really cool. But that one more push, and I hate saying the word push because I don't believe in it, but that one more, he's there. He's not a main eventer, but an IC title or something. Because we've seen it all the time where he's going one-on-one with, Gunther, the brand new superstar, and he loses. We get that. He got his time. I don't know if that was because of Vince McMahon and Pat Patterson, that relationship. I know Pat was really close to Dolph Ziggler, so maybe Vince is, doing it for Pat. I'm just assuming here, and you know what they say about assuming. Keith, let's hear it, brother. What do you got?
So honestly, out of all of them, like you just said before getting even into it, it goes without saying, like, I'm not, you don't wish anybody to ever be unemployed outside of like really terrible people. And from what it sounds like, with the exception of maybe one person on this whole list, allegedly, none of these people are really terrible people. In fact, since this has happened, I might like Mason Mansoor more. Seeing all the stuff they've talked about on their Twitch streams and everything, they both sound like it's madness that they couldn't figure out what to do with them, because I loved Maximum Male Models. Yeah, I might be in the minority with that, but I love that. But other stuff they were pitching to, those two are going to be fine. That's going to be great. The Ziggler and Benjamin thing, I think in general, before even getting into the specifics with it, like, it's just like it's shocking to hear this happen. Like, you expect it with the merger. They talked about it beforehand. Like the merger happened, and there was going to be tons of like office cuts because you don't need 2 HR departments, you don't need 2 payroll departments, and there's 2 companies coming together. There's going to be people that are useless then.
Yep.
But like it's like so tough to digest this kind of thing when Dana Brooke wasn't setting the world on fire.
But she was trying.
Exactly. And she was actively in stuff and everything. But like, I understand. So like, if they're not working out fundamentally, that's a different issue in and of itself. But like, it's tough to swallow this kind of thing when it's like you have this merger, you have this reports of like, oh, the stock's going up like crazy because we have this merger. We're making a bunch of money because of this merger and stuff. We have money. And then you cut a bunch of people trying to be like, well, budget things, because like Shelton wasn't really on TV, but he was making like a TV person's like money. Dolph wasn't on TV right now, but he was making TV money. And it's like, that's your fault, man. You're going to make them suffer because you couldn't see, like, you didn't predict your future correctly, really. And there was stuff going on, and no one can predict the future, I guess. But
yeah, and if you look at it too, Keith, this is not like sports related, like football. If you're not performing well, you're gone. And that's understandable because you can't put up. You see that all the time with football players. They don't do well. They transition to YouTube or TikTokers and they do their own thing. And it's just, they just can't get to the level of being a first stringer. And, some people live off that, like some of the second string, third stringers. They can do well there with football, but wrestling, it's totally different just because they put up every day. I mean, Dolph Ziggler still looks like $1 million. Mustafa Ali still looks like $1 million. He was on No Mercy, like, I mean, you go down the list and you say, okay, maybe I get it, top dollar, maybe I understand it, but he lost a shit ton of weight. He looks better than ever. why? Maybe there's some kind of heat. I know Cole jokes with him a lot, but you can kind of read between the lines. Maybe there's something that Cole doesn't like about him. Shanky, I can understand, but again, we're talking about personal. We're talking about people. We're talking about emotions. We don't want that. We don't wish that. We're just saying we get it. We understand it. I understand Dolph and I understand Shelton Benjamin, and kind of like Justin said, like they weren't on TV. We get it, but that's not their fault. I mean,
right. Well, and the thing, so honestly, for me, out of all of them, the most confusing for me were Dolph and Shelton, because like Riddle was its own thing. There's been a lot thrown around him. I'm surprised he hasn't been released already before this point, because like that's crazy. Great brings up a great point there with Top Dollar. That like confused me also. Like Top Dollar was the one they cut, but like they kept Ashante the Adonis and B-Fab. B-Fab's pretty terrible in the ring. Let's all be honest with ourselves here.
Yeah,
she's bad. How did she not get cut? But how did she not get cut? But Top Dollar did.
That's why
the guy
I think
who was doing the Hidden Treasures show, like
which was really
weird.
good. Yeah,
I agreed. And so my whole point was out of everybody though, Dolph and Shelton surprised me the most because like yes, I understand the pay thing. Okay, you just had this merger. You clearly have a bunch of money going around. Eat that cost or whatever the rest of their contract is, and then there is no you're fucking high if there's no spot for the two of them in the performance center for training. Dolph is without question the best seller in the last 20 years, 30 years maybe. If I could go real far. Dolph sells like death for everyone. That is such a good skill. That was the value in Dom. That's why Dolph was so good, being like, oh cool, Gunther's coming up, awesome, let's put Gunther out there and get Dolph out there with Gunther, let Gunther chop him, and Dolph will literally break in half, and it's gonna look beautiful. Gunther's gonna look like a world beater, like he is. Bam, go. He's exactly right. Exactly. He's such a good seller. You're crazy to not want to keep him around as a coach, as an agent, as a something.
Yeah.
And I get he's on this like bigger contract now. Yeah, that sucks. But like you got to eat that cost. And then once that comes up, you're like, listen, we're not gonna have you on TV anymore. We have to talk about this money structure.
Yeah.
We need you here though to show,
exactly.
I know she's not there now, but like Eva Marie was awful at selling. Go be with Eva Marie for 6 months. Show her how to just get to a decent sell.
Yeah.
Don't have to make her like you, but get her to be a decent sell at least. Or,
I got a great one. Jade Cargill.
Someone who's there now that doesn't sell that well, but like
we'll get to that.
That's another reason why the whole cuts thing is we don't have enough money, but
Ray, we just want to cheers to you, brother. First time we're seeing your name. Thank you for interacting with us. You are the man. If you are
thank you. Thank you.
I'm a little upset with Riddick Moss. I really thought he had something there. He looks good. I mean, I get it. There's just not enough time and space for Riddick Moss, but that's an issue with the WWE. That's not an issue with Riddick. Right. And I feel like maybe Emma was first and Riddick was second, and they just followed along. I don't know if they really wanted to get rid of Riddick. I think Riddick probably, again, I'm assuming here, but if my wife was fired, I ain't staying,
right?
Or my girlfriend. I don't think they're married, but they are dating or engaged. Yeah. Again, we don't want to see any of this.
Justin, are they engaged?
Yeah. We don't want to see any of this. This is what we do. We talk about it. Yeah. And I guess I will mention that over 100 other employees were let go off camera. So it wasn't just on-air personalities. Mm-hmm. It was also off-air. Again, it sucks that we have to talk about this, but it is what it is. This is what happens.
My man.
They will
always got our back.
Yes. They will find a place if it's Impact.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think that might be above Ziggs. I think that might be above Mustafa. Maybe Benjamin goes to Impact. I just don't see them going to Impact. I don't see that. I don't know. I think Ziggs probably focuses on his comedy career. Maybe he comes on the UWPod and we talk to him one-on-one. That would be nice. But any last words before we get to the next one?
No, there's out of everyone that got released, there's a few of them that might not land on their feet so well. But I think the majority of all the main ones we were kind of talking about here, Dolph will be fine. Yeah. Shelton's going to be fine. Shelton can easily go back into New Japan. I could see Ali showing up in New Japan too.
Yeah. That makes more
sense. Have him pop up in Best of the Super Juniors. Boom. I think they're all going to be okay in their own ways, and the ones that we are thinking about most are going to be fine. The ones that we aren't thinking about, they'll get there again. Anybody has the chance to be Matt Cardona again.
Yeah. So. He's doing it well, that's for sure. Let's get to the next topic here. Yeah. Jade Cargill. WWE signs Jade Cargill to a multi-year deal. Rumors were running rampant, and that is what happened. She did sign with the WWE, yes. And this is something I think we all said. Jade Cargill, Wardlow, they're WWE people. And, at least one so far, maybe two, I don't know, in the future. But Jade is definitely part of the WWE. No more rumors. That is a legit thing that happened here. This is interesting because, Keith, we kind of saw it coming, right?
Worst kept secret since CM Punk comes back.
Well, then even the whole thing with Cody being close, Cody being close to Jade, I feel like that was the thing that helped her transition to the WWE. I'm all for it. I just don't know what she can do. I don't know if she can really put up. It's kind of like the streak with Goldberg. It was short and sweet. Matches were short and sweet. The streak was long. Matches were short and sweet. Her promos were short and sweet. Everything about her was short and sweet. She just had the look. She had the music. She's beautiful. That's what it was. And that's all we really saw. I don't know if we saw great in-ring work. Yes, there was rumors with Brian Danielson training Jade. But at the end of the day, you're only going to go as far as, you can go. I don't know what she can do. I do know if there's any company that can help Jade, it is the WWE. But am I excited? Yeah, it's cool. I think I want to see something like this. I would like to see her versus Bianca, her versus Asuka, her versus Becky. I would like to see that. But knowing what I know, I don't know if it's she might need a couple months. She might need a year. I don't know what kind of training they have in AEW, but I'll shut up. What do you got here, Keith?
No, you kind of nailed everything I was going to really say. I think in terms of in-ring work, I never thought Jade was the worst worker, but I also never thought she was the best.
Yeah.
I said, go back to months past of streams we've done where I'm talking about just what does it end up being for Jade? Because you're kind of booking yourself into a corner with things. You make her this beater, and then she's getting somebody has to beat her eventually. She's got to crack somewhere. So I think the Performance Center is the best place for her to be to really work on that in-ring stuff. Again, if Ziggler were around, that'd be awesome to have her with them, or Shelton. Have them both work with her, whatever. But that's not going to happen now.
No.
Her in-ring stuff, I think what I'm more worried about, because the in-ring stuff with being in the Performance Center, being with WWE now, being in that system, that's going to come. That's going to be fine. I'm more worried about up to that point with her in AEW and everything. She was, her character work was more of the stuff, and that was a lot of that was her. A lot of that was also Smart Mark, which was awesome. Smart Mark Sterling, her work with him and everything.
Yeah.
So she's not going to have him, which is fine. There's a lot of I could see. I know he's with Von Wagner now, but her and Robert Stone could work out well in a lot of things. That'd be cool. But whatever, give her a manager that fixes that part. But my thing is, her on the mic wasn't terrible in AEW, but a lot of her character was the stuff she could get away with in AEW that she's not going to get away with in WWE.
Yeah.
WWE is exactly they're okay with a bitch here and there, and damn in hell, the light ones. But her big one for the longest time was the Tony, cut the shit. It's not happening here.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's just, you're not going to have that line. So she's going to have to start somewhere else. And it's all speculation right now because who knows what's going to happen. And maybe she's a lot more creative than we're giving her credit for. And she will knock it out of the park. I think she has the tools too. And I think being in the Performance Center and working with all them is going to help with that.
Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of from going from the Marlins to the Yankees,
Right.
Big time. This is where you have to put up or shut up. And I don't know if she can do that because we just haven't seen a sample of real legitimate work in the ring for Jade. Again, like you said, she looks $1 million. She acts $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can learn how to cut a promo. I mean, I can cut a promo right now on you, and it would just be, you know what I mean? Like you can learn that trait in the WWE. Yeah, there are, Stone Colds. There are the guys like The Rock that, are just unbelievable. Cannot be touched. I'm excited to see. I think I'm with Justin here. I'm excited to see.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't hate it because it's what she wanted to do, and if that's what she wants to do, then I'm all for it. And I'm going to cheer her on. I mean, just thinking about it, if you put her face on a poster 1-on-1 with the likes of Rhea Ripley or Charlotte Flair, that's going to sell. It is what it is. I'm just, I don't
cautiously
know.
Optimistic.
Yeah. And you look at it too as, okay, they cut a lot of people. They brought her in. Maybe that wasn't the best.
Yeah, that's a little bit of, again, going back to what we were talking about. It's it's budget cuts. It's this, it's that, it's the other. I mean, I know a couple of the releases. I know like Ali had like requested it, even though he was in the midst of stuff, and they were finally just like fine because he had requested it like years ago also. So like whatever.
Yeah,
everyone's that way, but it's like it's tough to like make these cuts, talk about budget things, and then they make this big deal about signing her. Like she has like the picture we have, like it's her like just kind of sitting in a performance center ring, like on her first day with it. Like they're making a really big deal about it.
Oh yeah, ESPN reported it.
Exactly.
That's big.
That's what's interesting though. Going back to what our boy Justin here said, like, she should do a little bit of time in NXT to kind of get used to everything, but like. It's worrisome that like they brought her in with all this hype and this pomp and this fanfare that like I feel like they're going to want to return on that like quick. Not necessarily. I don't think she's above it. I don't think anybody's above it. I love NXT.
Yeah,
but like I think it's tough. Like bringing her in and sending her down there. Like if they do that, like I think that could help potentially with like some of the in-ring stuff or whatever, and that's fine. But like doing that, I can see you're not going to get your return on your investment as quick there because as much as I love NXT, I know. The majority of the world doesn't. Hey.
Yeah. Let's see. Nah, Jade's going straight. Yeah.
I think they'll do that too.
Why
I
would
don't
you?
See her going to NXT. I maybe she should to some extent, but
she should. Absolutely.
I don't see it
she
being
should.
a thing. I think
she doesn't know what to do, Keith. Are you kidding?
Somebody was, I forget, one of the other wrestling things that I listen to and watch and stuff a lot was talking about having her maybe be the whatever they called it for Jimmy coming to Raw because Jimmy came to Raw, so they have to send someone to SmackDown, and they're like, well, what if they just send Jade? Like that's how Jade debuts, is she's the one that they signed to send to SmackDown. That was the compensation for them or whatever. That would be fun fantasy booking her debut. I don't know what she would do, but I'm with Kyle. It's like you said, it's not beneath her because NXT is really, really, really good. It's just I don't know why she would go to NXT. Like I understand it as an athlete, like she really needs it. Like you can just tell, you can just tell she needs to go to NXT. But her name, the whole thing with AEW, this is one of the few that that is now going to the WWE. You don't see that often. So this is a big deal. Like, I said, ESPN covered it. It's just, it's different. It's not just like a no-namer. This is a big deal because of what she's done in AEW and, the way she looks, the way she acts. It's just, that's what you want in the WWE. That's what Vince looks for. That's what Trips looks for. These kind of athletes. So it's going to be fun, but I don't know. I don't want to put, too many eggs in one basket, but let's see how things, I'm cautiously optimistic over it.
Yeah.
Just based on how there has been a lot of mishandling of other people that I love coming in the past. I liked Roxy a lot in Ring of Honor before she got signed and became Roxanne Perez. And now I kind of hate Roxanne Perez. So who knows? That's where any of my like trepidation comes from. It's just like there have been situations that people get signed or people get moved around and do whatever, and they just completely switch everything. And just make it like, well, I loved this person and now I hate them. So
and
cautiously optimistic.
And another thing too, I mean, we saw Randy last week at the Performance Center. Jade's at the Performance Center. I mean, Kyle here spitting facts. She can just be there and train. You know, she doesn't have to be in NXT because that, those two things are mentioned a lot together. She's just there training. You know, that's probably what it is at the end of the day. Cool. You know, let's see what happens. But let's get to the next topic here, and it is Adam Cole Bay.
Yeah.
He provides a injury update, and it's not so good for us wrestling fans. Let's take a little look at what happened.
That's Adam Cole. Adam Cole.
Yes, just a simple little jump off the ramp. Adam Cole announces his ankle is broken and needs surgery. He is off WrestleDream. Again, the rumors are running rampant. This is part of the storyline. I don't know. He looked like he was really injured. He looked like he couldn't walk as well as he would before jumping off the ramp. But this sucks. This sucks for us. This sucks for AEW. This sucks for Adam Cole. Because we waited so long after all those concussions for him to finally come back. He was mixed with MJF, and I think everybody that is watching here, we can, say that, some point in the future, Cole is going to take that title. Now it seems like it may not happen, and it's just something that just sucks, man. It's like all is blown out of the sales. It's just something that you don't want to see. I don't think he's ever really gotten his foot into the AEW storyline or just AEW itself. Another injury. He's off WrestleDream. I don't know if this is a storyline. I don't think it is, but Keith, talk to me, brother. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I'm trying my best to not pretend I know friggin' anything anymore because I was totally taken in with the Von Wagner thing, and then the clips kept coming out, and Von Wagner did not get bashed in the head with steps like it looked like it sounded like he did. So, try not to read too much into it. Maybe it is a work, maybe it's not. Don't really know. I will say, if it is a legitimate injury, it's just, I just feel bad for him. It just feels like he's like snake bit. I mean, between it's so crazy to think of NXT Adam Cole, who I don't really remember him getting too injured in NXT or anything with the Undisputed Era and stuff. And then, there's the alleged, he was not alleged. I guess he confirmed it. He was going to get the call up and be Keith Lee's manager. What? That was no way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So then he leaves, he goes to AEW. And then it's just since he's shown up, it's just I feel like we've all just been waiting for something from him, It was he was with the Bucks again for a little bit, but then that fell apart. But I don't even really remember how that fell apart. I think it's just concussions happened, and that was the end of whatever was going to happen there. And then he came back and went after MJF right away, and they've been doing their thing. I've been really enjoying that whole storyline with him and MJF and Roddy Strong and just Adam, getting the call that he's dying and just all the nonsense. It's great.
Just another setback, man.
It's just sad. It's just
it's just these series of things that are happening to Adam Cole. It's just we don't ever know, or we know that he has it. It's just we haven't seen it yet in AEW. Yes, the debut was really cool, but it's just come on, man. He can't even catch a break.
Well, and it's the AEW ramp is cursed. I mean, Punk busted his ankle up jumping off into the crowd after he won the title.
Yeah.
Cole busted up jumping off to go save MJF, Stop jumping off the ramps, everybody. Yeah. Stop putting the ramps up. How about we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
there's a part of me that hopes it is a work and it's all part of the story and everything. But I don't think that it is, maybe. And if it is real, I feel for him.
Yeah, shit luck.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Let's get to the next topic here. Edge close to signing with AEW. According to Keith's favorite person, Dave Meltzer, on Wrestling Observer Radio, Edge's WWE contract expires on Saturday, which means he could appear at WrestleDream to make his debut. There's a lot of guys in the WWE that you'll say, no way. Cena, no way he's going to AEW. Taker, no way he's going to AEW. I don't, as much as Edge is the WWE and what Edge and the WWE did for each other, I can see this happen. I don't think they've ever been married to each other. Taker isn't even sniffing AEW or any calls from Tony Khan. Same thing with Angle. Same thing with, like I said, Cena. With those kind of guys, it's not going to happen. This I can see happen. I think it would be really interesting to see him and Christian back together. Maybe not as a tag team, but just on the same TV, on the same channel, on the same show. I think that is really cool. Some kind of interaction there. But Edge has a lot left, man. A lot left. And the whole thing with Sheamus in Canada felt really abrupt. Felt like it just shouldn't be his last match. So he's not done. There's so much more in the tank for Edge. And this would be nice. This would be cool to see. I don't think there's any more. I'm a Vince guy. I think Vince is pretty much done. I'm a Trips guy. It's like, am I Gargano? Am I a Ciampa? Am I going to stick with Trips? Edge is not a Trips guy. Edge is, I don't even know if he's a Vince guy, but I just, you know what I mean? Right. I don't see any parallels there. I don't see any comparisons. I just think I don't think Edge has ever been a guy, like a Heyman guy, like a Vince, like a Bischoff, like a Trips, you know what I mean? Like that kind of guy. I think he was just always on his own with Christian and kind of like The Rock and, those kind of guys that were, that came up together.
Right.
I see it. I think it can happen. Do I want to see it? Yeah, absolutely. I want to see the place go nuts. I want to see him, really have that time. And it's similar to the whole Cole thing. I mean, he's had so many injuries. Even when he came back, he had more injuries. And now it's like, I don't know. We even talked about it. We kind of feel like empty inside. Like where is this going? When is Edge going to be back to 110%? Maybe it is AEW, but let's hear it, buddy. What do you got?
No, this is, I mean, I was saying when like all these rumors first started kind of swirling, like I couldn't see Edge in AEW, and the fact that it's becoming like more and more of a reality is like, it's kind of crazy to me. Lieutenant Dan. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. I'm with what Justin said here. I thought Edge would never be. Yeah, I never thought Edge would not be with WWE or affiliated with them in some way, even when he was retired and doing the pod of awesomeness or whatever. Like even then, he was like interviewing and like talking about Bullet Club and stuff like that. But like it almost like, to me, it was like it felt like weird hearing him talk about like Bullet Club and New Japan and like all this other stuff. And it's like, you're Edge, dude. Like, no, it's WWE. You that's what it is. You do that. That's what you do. You stay with them. Yeah. So like, Yeah. And I think the stranger thing is like, it's coming around at this time, like to this merger and everything else like that, where it's just like, dude, how do you not want to pay the money to keep him around as like, and maybe this is part of it. Like maybe they were trying to pay him to keep him around as like an agent or a coach or something like that. Yeah. And he was like, nah, like I got some more matches in me and I want to wrestle them out. And that's fine. If that's what it is, more power to him. Go to AEW. Let's, see something. I want to see him and Christian feud though. Like if he's coming in there, I feel like everybody is like, oh, put him back with Christian and everything. And like, there could be some fun there, but like, I also feel like it would disappoint a lot of people because they're not going to be 2001, 2002, 2003 Edge and Christian. Like, just neither one of them are there anymore, unfortunately, because time is a bitch. Like, it's just what it is.
It's life.
But I mean, if they do put them back together and everything, like, of course I'm gonna pop for a 5-second pose. You know, like, get out of here. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll that's another one kind of like Jade. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic to see what happens. There's also like a part of me that feels like this could just be something where he's just trying to work everybody through with it all. Yeah. Where like he's just letting I feel like there's a chance he's like the one kind of pulling strings. Cause like I just saw something today that like, you know, he was after his last match, he was moved to like an internal roster. It was like miscellaneous on the website or whatever. And like as of earlier today, like he's just off the website now entirely. Yeah. And like the wrestler section or whatever. So like, yeah, I could see it being him just being like, you know, like it's almost Saturday. Just pull my shit off. You know? Yeah. And Sunday comes and goes. He doesn't show up at WrestleDream. Wednesday comes and goes. He's stunned on Dynamite. Friday comes on a Rampage. Saturday goes. He's not on Collision. And then that like he gives like a full like 2 weeks, and we're just like, well, he's coming. It's gonna happen, and let the reports keep flying and stuff. And then you know, boom, he shows up on Raw and does whatever. And it's just like, come on, where was I going? Yeah, you know,
that seems like something Edge. That seems like something Edge would do. You know, he's always been like that when it comes to rumors and the storyline. You kind of like really believe it, like the whole Lita and Edge thing with Matt. Yes, there was a lot of truth to it, but there was also a lot of, you know, fantasy, and it wasn't all reality. I'm with you. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can see it happen. I don't think he's married to the WWE in any way. It would be fun. I think that's something that AEW needs. I think that would be something to help with the Jade leaving and Adam Cole injury, and not that they're lacking in anything. I thought Dynamite this week was one of the best Dynamites I've seen in a long time, and how it ended. Let's get to it, baby. WrestleDream is on. It's this weekend. Real quick promote here. The Fanatics Network. We will be watching it together Sunday night watch party right here on the Fanatics Network. But let me get back to that WrestleDream. Yes, it is Bryan Danielson going one-on-one with Zack Sabre. That is pretty much the pay-per-view when it comes to promoting. But there's a lot of good matches here. And the way AEW Dynamite ended with Hangman and Swerve was some of the best TV that I've seen in a long time. It's just something special to see Adam Page back in the spotlight and Swerve actually getting that kind of spotlight for the go-home show, so to say, for WrestleDream. I'm excited. I really am. I think this is something that will help a Sabre maybe transition to an AEW or come to the States. I think Danielson is the best in the business right now. I don't think anyone is even close to him. Ospreay, yes. Rollins, yes. They are really, really good. But Bryan, God damn it, Bryan Danielson is my favorite, and I'm just stoked for it. I mean, there's a lot of really good matches here, but I'm really stoked for Danielson, Sabre, obviously, and Adam Page and Swerve. We can go down the list, but just give me your thoughts on WrestleDream. We're not going to predict every effing match, but what are you looking forward to? I know that Cole's not on the card, so it is MJF and a 2-on-1 handicap. But I mean, this is going to be fun. This is what Tony does best. He writes these things up, puts it on, into reality, and we get some of the best matches we've seen so far in pro wrestling this year and last year. Just every pay-per-view seems to be better and better. I'm going to shut up. Let's hear it, brother. What do you got?
So I'm looking forward to it. It is a little bit, there's a little bit of it though that like is weird to me though. Cause like when WrestleDream was like brought up, when they like announced it or whatever, it was supposed to be like, oh, we're doing this like as this tribute to Antonio Inoki, New Japan. And it just feels like there's some of the stuff, like there's a good bit of it that's like not really affiliated like with Japan really like at all. Like as much as I am, especially after Dynamite, as much as I'm very excited for the Hangman and Swerve match, like I don't equate either one of them with anything in Japan, really.
Yeah, Christian and Darby
at all. Exactly, Christian and Darby. What was the one they just announced? Our boy Ricky and Wheeler.
Yeah.
that's another piece too. Like, I understand like New Japan, like if it's going to be this Antonio Inoki tribute show and it's New Japan or whatever that way, I guess it makes sense from there. But it's another pay-per-view we're coming up to where there's one women's match on the card, and nothing against either one of them, but like I couldn't really care any less about it. You know, Julia Hart's Chris Statlander's great. Julia Hart is fine. I don't think Julia Hart's going to beat her. Like,
no, and
I'm not worried about that. You know, like there's not a bunch of stakes there.
Julia Hart is similar to a Liv Morgan. Everybody loves her, but she's just not that good.
I think she's good.
Ugh.
I don't think
she's
like,
good looking.
I think she's good in the ring and everything, but it's like, I'm not like, if someone's like, oh, show me a great women's wrestler, I'm not putting on a Julia Hart match.
No. Maybe her entrance.
She's good. She's good. She does fine, but it's just a thing. It's another one of just like, I don't, it goes back to all the ranting about women's booking in AEW. Like, there's just not enough done with it. Like where's Saraya?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe I'm wrong and I'm not thinking about the fact they announced like an injury or whatever. But even if that's the case, then like we got to do something with that. Because if you're only going to book matches for women around titles, you got to put titles on people that are there all the time then.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's it going to be?
Again.
But just, you know, there is still a very exciting stuff. Obviously, the big one up here. Obviously. Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., people have wanted that match since the Yes Movement started.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. I mean, I'm so glad we're getting that one finally.
Eddie
Kingston and Shibata is going to fucking hump. That's going to be great. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it for me, like there's a lot of really good matches on it. As a same thing with Ricky Starks and Wheeler Yuta. I think that's going to be a great match, but like, it would be a great match wherever. It doesn't have to be on the WrestleDream show that's about like New Japan or anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, there's some of it that's very weird booking to me. And it's just like, you know, I also feel like outside of like the Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. match and maybe Hangman and Swerve and now Ricky and Wheeler, like the singles matches like that, I feel like the majority of them are kind of like, I don't think any titles are changing hands on this night. You know, I don't think they're putting the tag titles on Aussie Open. I don't think Eddie's losing both of those titles right away here. I don't think MJF is losing even a handicap match. I don't see your world champion for AEW getting pinned, even if he's 2-on-1. I don't see one of the righteous pinning him. No offense to Dutch and to Vincent.
Yeah.
Come on, boys. Like, what are we talking about here? Neither one of you are pinning him.
Yeah.
Christian just officially got the title. He's not losing that. You know, like none of those bigger ones are going to be anything. There's interesting stakes with stuff, you know, but I say all the time with so many of AEW pay-per-views that it's like they like under promise and then over deliver. So I'm saying all about this now, and now we'll fast forward to next week where we're going to be sitting here being like, holy hell, what a card, you know, like what a show.
Yeah.
So,
I think, you said exactly what I was going to say next. This is Tony Khan. As Vince or as Michael Cole would say, this is vintage Tony Khan. You know,
exactly vintage.
It doesn't make any sense. Throw shit together, but at the end of the day, after the pay-per-view, it's gonna rock, man. It's gonna be something really cool to see. Again, Danielson and Sabre, that's what's selling this. But if you are a wrestling fan, if you're not a casual fan, you do want to see Hangman and Swerve. I even want to see Christian and Darby as much as we've seen so much of them. I think this is going to be interesting. And I'm kind of intrigued to see what happens with MJF. I know each and every match, it seems like he's just, you know, he just barely gets by. I think that's probably what will happen some way, somehow. He'll get by and win, like you said. This is going to be really fun. Again, you can watch it right here. Not watch it. You can watch it with us on the Fanatics Network. Watch party this Sunday. But let's get to some predictions. Let's not do that. Let's get to poop. I didn't upload it.
It's fine.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to
No Mercy.
No Mercy predictions. God damn it. Let's get to it.
It's all good, man.
NXT Women's Championship in Extreme Rules. Keith, Becky Lynch going one-on-one with Tiffany Stratton. It looks like this is something you want to see for Tiffany, but for me, I think Becky wins here. What do you got?
Nah, it's got to be Tiffany. She's got to get back.
Wow.
Yeah. Extreme Rules gives you the out. Cool. Becky won the title. Becky's Grand Slam now. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Becky doesn't need to be on NXT every week. NXT, the whole point of NXT is supposed to be building the next crop. And yeah, Becky can help do that to some extent, but there's no reason for her to be the champion doing it. Baron Corbin was a main roster guy that came back down. Baron Corbin's not holding the men's title now, is he? Main roster people coming back down for anything shouldn't be holding titles. Extreme Rules gives you that out. Tiffy comes out, lands better chair shots than she did on NXT. Let her land some better chair shots. Really just knock Becky the fuck out. Pin her, give her the
title. All right.
I love Becky. I don't want the Becky, I don't hate Becky. I love her. But no. There's no reason for it. She has her Grand Slam now. Wonderful. Yep. She's in the books for that. Sick. Go back up to the main roster, pick a feud up there, and go. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Becky retains here as much as I don't think she needs it. I think what you said makes a lot of sense. She's got the excuse me, Jesus. She's a Grand Slam. I don't think anything has helped Tiffany, but if there is anything, beating Becky would help Tiffany, even if it is a shitty win in an Extreme Rules match. I think that's still a big time win for Tiffany. Let's get to the next match here. Baron Corbin going one-on-one with Braun Breaker, who's been with NXT forever, and it just seems like maybe one day he'll catch a break and he'll get onto the main roster. I don't know if that ever is going to happen. I feel like it has to happen. I mean, I feel like the Von Wagner thing, that was the tip of the iceberg for Braun Breaker, but he's back. He's going one-on-one with Corbin. I don't know, man. I could go. It's 50-50. I mean, no one really needs it here. Braun doesn't need it to prove himself. Obviously, Corbin doesn't need it to prove himself. What is this for? Maybe this is just to see if Braun can go one-on-one with the main event talent. I don't know what he's doing in NXT. He's not selling the tickets. You're not going to NXT No Mercy to see Braun Breaker. You're going for Carmella. You're going for Becky. You're going for Dom, maybe. Maybe you wanted to go for Ali, but he's not there anymore. He won't be there.
Awkward.
I got Baron. I just don't. It's a toss-up, I got Baron for no real reason other than I don't think it would make sense for Breaker to win. What do you got?
I'm going bold on this one. I'm going no contest. I'm going Von Wagner comes back and tables both of them.
There you go. I like it.
That's where it's going to be. Because honestly, this is like one, they've been doing a whole thing. I agree with Justin. I do like this murderous version of Braun Breaker a lot better than previous ones. But, I think it's just, whatever. I don't really, this needs to lead to I want out of this a triple threat with these two and Von killing each other. All three of them killing each other. So Von gets involved in some way, no contest, tables both of them.
Yeah.
We set that up later on down the line for the triple threat.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say here, since we got a few more matches, is, I understand the reason why Lynch went to NXT and maybe a Dolph Ziggler went to NXT. I mean, even Dana Brooke, I can understand. But with Braun, I just don't get it. I just don't understand why he's in NXT. Corbin. I know he's
Corbin.
What did I say? Braun?
Yeah.
Baron.
I got you.
I don't understand why Baron is in NXT. I don't think he needs to do anything there. I don't think he needs to prove anything. Maybe he's helping out like a Ziggs did, like an Ali did. But at the end of the day, this match does not make sense. Yes, it will be a good match. I'm not taking anything away from these two competitors. I'm just saying, what the hell are we doing here? Let's get to the next match for the NXT North American title. It is Dominic Mysterio, your champion, going one-on-one with Trick Williams, who will cost Carmelo Hayes. I won't get there yet. The special referee is Dragon Lee. Again, this just seems like, not again. This really was thrown together because it was going to be Ali and Dom. That's not going to happen. I am more intrigued to see this match just because I like where Trick is going. I like the storyline that this is going into with Hayes and as well as Mysterio. Trick, I don't think is just ready for the main roster or just ready for a title match with Mysterio. But then again, I didn't think Mysterio was ready. And look at him. He's shining, So Mysterio's winning. Judgment Day is still on top. But this is a good little nod to Trick. Hey, you ready? Put your boots on. Put your cap on. Coach is calling you in. He got the nod. He's in. It's going to be interesting. Dom wins.
I'm going the opposite. I'm going Trick taking it here.
Wow. I love it.
Because I do think we're eventually going to get Trick and Mello one-on-one. So I think this helps build that. I think Trick wins the title. Because honestly, it was Dom taking it at first and everything. We've talked about it. We were talking about it's a big deal. It's, he's down there. It's putting more eyes on it and everything. And it was. I don't really think it's doing that anymin. I think it's kind of run its course.
I agree with that.
Especially with Dragon Lee as a special guest ref. I mean, Ali's not there now or whatever, so maybe they'll just ignore that part of it. But Dom fast counted Dragon Lee, so we'd have to face him there. Dragon Lee special guest now. For this match, Dragon Lee fast counts, Trick wins, just to screw over Dom, continue that story.
Yeah.
Maybe that keeps Dom in NXT to keep him training down there with Dragon Lee. Who knows? But I think Trick takes it to kind of help with things later on.
Yeah, I just think Trick and Braun are in the same boat. I don't know if they're ready. I mean, I love the intensity, like you and Justin brought up, what Braun's bringing. He looks more dark. He is, grows the beard. He's wearing darker attire. We get it. He's a little more evil. I like that Braun. I just don't know. Evil. Yeah, I just don't know if he's ready. And I don't know if Trick is ready. But again, like I said the same thing about Dom. And look at him. He's not great in the ring. He's not great on the mic, but he's doing very well. He's probably selling a shit ton of merch, but that's besides the point. Let's get to the next match here. WWE NXT Heritage Cup title match. It is Nomar Dar going one-on-one with Butch. This is Butch's match to win, but why not have Dar win it? It would give him the opportunity to say, I beat Butch, who's on the main roster. Butch doesn't need it. I don't see the reason why he would bring that up to the main roster. I know Sheamus, we haven't seen him in a while. It's been him and Ridge for a couple weeks now. I'm going to go Butch just because I think he's a Trips guy, and this is probably a Trips call to have someone like Butch win. So I got Butch winning it. He deserves it. And Dar deserves it too. He's just doing really good work. But, to do something with the Heritage Cup would be giving it to Butch, maybe putting it on the main roster, maybe showing that this is something special. Not that it's not special, but it's just okay, Dar has it. Okay, that's pretty cool. I got Butch.
All right. I think this might be the most different we are in our predictions for once, because I'm going Noam retaining. I think it makes the most sense for Noam to retain. I have Noam Dar for me has been the best part of NXT TV since he came back. Quite frankly, NXT on a weekly basis, Noam Dar has been one of my favorite parts of watching every week.
Yeah.
The shit throughout all of the invitational, the invitational to get to this point has been great. Him up in the lounge with the rest of the Metaphor as the Matrix and all the other nonsense that they've done, killing it. The promo he was cutting when he was dressed like Neo was hilarious.
Yeah.
So he's been killing it. Keep this down there. Keep it relevant there, because it's kind of like you had just said. I get Butch winning, but I feel like a Butch win means I don't see Butch isn't coming out on Raw or SmackDown carrying that.
No,
maybe he will once, but it's not going to be a consistent thing. So if he's not going to carry it all the time, and he's not going to show it off all the time, every time he's on big TV, there's no point to doing it. Give Noam the win, even if it's by nonsense, because that's what Noam's been really good at. Give it to him by his shenanigans with stuff. Let him retain it. It's going to be so much better for him and so much better down there.
Yeah, I like it, buddy. Let's get to the next match here. WWE NXT Tag Team Fatal 4-Way match. The family, Garza, Humberto, the Creed brothers, and out the Mud.
Yeah, I hate that name.
Me too. It's weird to say out the Mud.
Get it?
Yeah. Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, the family Creeds, those guys are real contenders. I can see them winning. I understand why someone like a Garza and Humberto would win the titles. I'm gonna let you predict here, buddy, and then I'll get to it. What do you got here?
I'm thinking Tony D and Stacks retain.
Yeah.
That to me, out of the playing field, it's got to be either them or the Creeds. But I think if you let Tony D and Stacks retain, we can maybe get a Creed call up finally, which would be nice. But OTM, out the Mud, whatever, they could be there. They're just not quite there yet, in my opinion.
They're good in the ring.
They are, but they're not. They're decent already, but I feel like they could be even better. So I don't want to put the tag titles on them yet because you're in this corner of like, hey. And Los Lotharios, like they just got there and just showed up. Like I don't want them having it yet either. Yeah. I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot out of Tony D and Stack, so I think they retain and let them do some more fun stuff like they did with this. This whole setup for this was awesome. The dinner and all, like let them do more nonsense like this. Like I'm all about it.
Yep. Looks like Justin agrees with you once again, and I agree or I disagree with you. I think it's time for Garza and Humberto to get the titles. Those, as much as the whole vignettes with the family has been really interesting, I think Garza and those vignettes just seem a little more passionate, just seem like they're more serious. As much as, the whole family thing is everybody's going to come to NXT, every family member come to No Mercy, and we're going to win the titles. That seems cool, but I think it's time for Garza to win. And I would like to see that again. Creed should be on the main roster. Tony should be on the main roster. I just, again, it's not a throwaway pay-per-view or PLE, but it just seems like, let's put everything together and let's see if it's going to work. It's going to work because NXT and their pay-per-views, each and every pay-per-view PLE has been really awesome. But I'm going to shut up and let's get to the NXT title match for the championship. Carmelo, don't miss Hayes, is going one-on-one with Dragunov, and I'm ready for it, man. I think this has been one of the best storylines in NXT for a while now. It just seems like both are really understanding the ways to communicate in the ring, to wrestle. They just seem like they're really starting to grasp the concept of being a WWE wrestler, and it's only time. Time will only tell when they will be on the main roster. It's going to be one or the other. I feel like we've been saying that a lot lately with Hayes, with the Creeds, with Breaker, with even Dragunov, even Tyler Bate. There's a lot of guys that we say, when are they going to get to the main roster? I think it's going to be Hayes first. I don't know if it's going to be with Hurt Business 2.3.0, but I feel like he's going to be the next one up. So I got Dragunov here. I just think it's just time. I think it's just time for him to win. Maybe Trick, does something in this match to help Dragunov win, but that's who I got. What do you got here, brother?
I think outside of the Breaker and Corbin match, we have been opposites on every one of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm going Carmelo to retain here.
Okay.
I think Hayes retains, and I think based on what I was kind of talking about earlier, because then it helps build a lot of things with him and Trick more, I think. And then I think with Dragunov losing, you then get that whole thing of bringing him up to the main roster, bring Dragunov up, because Dragunov I feel like Dragunov's been ready since he showed up.
Oh, yeah. He's ready after the last match with
Bring him
Walter.
up now. Exactly. Bring him up now with his beard and all, because he looks like way cooler with the beard and stuff going too, like the scraggly look.
Yeah.
Bring him up now. Get him feuding with Gunther.
There she is. What up, Kayla?
Maybe he takes the title off of Gunther. Maybe. What's up, Kayla?
Hey.
So maybe Dragunov beats Gunther for the title. So I can see Dragunov winning, and I get it.
Yes.
That's fine, but I don't know. I think it's more of a thing of like, as great as Dragunov is, I don't know that Dragunov is someone that if you put the title on Dragunov and you call up Carmelo, Dragunov's not the one that's gonna get he's not the same character that Melo is. He's an excellent wrestler.
You don't
he's
miss,
pretty
bro.
good on the mic. Like Dragunov is an excellent wrestler. He's pretty good on the mic. Melo's really good with both. He's still young, so keep him down there for a little bit. Let him build up somebody else that can take his spot like that. Yeah. Help him build up Trick Williams, because Trick Williams could do that. Trick Williams just needs some work still in some areas.
He does.
So, keep him down there. Then if Melo retains, then we got Melo and we got Trick both holding the 2 top men titles.
That would be cool.
And then you get to the whole thing of just being like, well, Melo, you said this was the A championship, so now I'm here with it, so it is the A championship again, and you just have the NXT title. So like it, and just little digs at each other,
Yeah. Well, on the last episode, they seemed like they were on the same page, but I think that's just telling a good story. We'll see what happens on Saturday night. NXT No Mercy watch party right here on the Fanatics Network. Get it going, baby. 7:45. We'll be live right here on the TFN. Let's get to the next topic here. Roman Reigns. He's coming back, man. Based on advertising from Tulsa, Oklahoma, it looks like that he will be on the October 13th episode of SmackDown. And, I get it. I understand it. It's kind of like the Bruno thing. He only shows up when he really needs to. But I don't know what you do next, man. I mean, it just seems like they're just pulling straws here. Okay, Jimmy, Cena, come back. Jay, you and Sammy now. You and KO. What's next? Oh, Paul, get in the mix. Solo, what are you doing? I think they're a little confused. I think I'm a little confused. Maybe Roman coming back will help. I think that's something we're missing. I think back in the day, how we always said, Brock's never on TV and he's the champion. What the hell are we doing here? I think I'm saying that now with Roman, but I think it makes more sense just because we need him. We really need Roman back on SmackDown. I'm a little lost here with the bloodline. I think it's still entertaining because I love Sammy, I love KO, I love Jay, I love Jimmy, I love Paul. But when Roman's not here, it just seems a little confusing. What do you got?
No, you nailed it. I'm the one that, as of the beginning of this year was talking about how the bloodline storyline was like the best storyline since like Austin McMahon back in the day. And I stand by the fact that I said that, but asking me that same question now, it's not even close. It feels like when Roman's not around enough, and I understand he's the big dog. The guy has beaten leukemia like twice. So like, I get it. Give the guy some rest. He doesn't have to be doing the traveling and be there every week and everything.
Exactly.
But like we're kind of getting into that point of like when we all hated that Brock was the champion and was like would only show up for like a week or two before a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And we're really getting at that point. And it just like, I think the problem is that when you do that, you make it seem like you're just kind of spinning wheels until you can start the Cody feud up for him and Cody at Mania again.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't give you, there's nothing in between for it. And like, as much as I really enjoyed and still to some extent enjoy the bloodline storyline, like even that, you were just saying like Sammy and KO, like, yeah, I love those two guys. You of all people know that, like, that better than anybody else, that I love those two. Yeah. But like, they're not even really part of that story anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's like the sort of thing because like Jay or which I still am just the worst and don't know which one it was, but whichever one returned and he's talking, Sammy's talking to him on Raw and stuff. And KO's like mad that he's still talking to him. Like, okay, that's like, that's like a thread coming out of a giant rope. Like you're really, that's like not much of a thing to keep me pulling in,
Yeah.
So you need Roman back to kind of make it all feel like more relevant and stuff and calling the shots more. So it's like, I'm glad he's coming back, but like you got to, if he's doing this comeback now, you got to give us, there's got to be something that like says why he hasn't been there. Like have him come back and give me something of like, oh, I've been talking to the elders, I've been talking to the tribal elders in Samoa and talking about this, that, and the other, and give me something, like give us something that have him come back with an impact that like helps push us along more, because as it is right now, what is Solo really even doing besides like occasionally antagonizing Cody still
and looking at his thumb?
Jimmy and Jay are doing stuff. Paul Heyman's the most interesting part now, because something will happen near him and he just goes, call Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Like,
cool. Give me more. This was amazing. This was like must-see stuff. And now I'm just like, what's going on? Yeah.
It seems like it's slowly dying here. Yeah. Maybe Roman coming back does something for this storyline. Again, we're not hating on the storyline. I still love to see Solo in the mix and, being a big part of SmackDown. And like you said with Paul, I mean, I can't get enough of Paul. It's just great. Absolutely. That's just great TV. But I want something more, and I think that's what will happen. I don't know if he's going to be on the October 13th episode of SmackDown, but I do have a really good feeling that whenever the next Saudi show is, he'll be there. So maybe they're starting to build to that.
Right.
But we're going to start building to WrestleBread at 9:00. So let's get to the last topic here, and that is promoting us, baby. Whoa, hey, we're naked. All right, we're back. Promote. That's what we do best here. You have watched the Universal Wrestling Podcast on the Fanatics Network, and that is the hub for all your fandoms. You can see it there, thefanent.com, Facebook, Twitter. You can see us too, UWPod at Facebook, and then the UWPod on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Really good show, bro. What do you got? Anything else to end the night here? I guess let's do it. How can the people find you?
Y'all already know I'm on Twitter I'm on X at Keith of the Ring, Instagram at _Keith of the Ring, and TikTok at Keith of the Ring. Haven't been doing much on any of them lately, but working on it.
Yeah. And we appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Like we said, Saturday night NXT watch party right here on TFN, and then Sunday night WrestleDream right here on TFN with all the family. Take a little chill, maybe grab a beer, maybe grab a snack, maybe watch some Thursday Night Football, and then come right back here at 9:00 for WrestleBread for her predictions with the family. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on Twitter at the UWPod and Instagram at UWPodcast. Peace.
Yeah, baby. And here it comes. Thank you for listening to another edition of the Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Like that blood up and say.
Check us out on the web at UWPod.com.
You've got mail.
Or send us an email. info@UWPod.com.